Have you ever watched those Chinese movies? It's an action movie and you see two people fighting. One person delivers 2, 3, maximum 4 jabs and the opponent is instantly paralyzed, falls into the deepest coma, is now floating in the ether. Do you know what I'm talking about? You watch like a kung fu show and boop, boop, they're down. They're in a coma. They're knocked out. And you're like, how did that happen? This is like a real thing, honey. I don't know who you're questioning.
I feel like the ones that I watch is they go boo, 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 boo for like hours. Like every time you punch them down, they get back up. They punch them down, they get back up.
What? I've only seen the ones where they're like, pa, 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 and then they're dead. Like the red hands.
Red hands? Honey, are you talking about 点穴?
I'm talking about Dimak. Death touch.
Death touch?
Yeah.
Okay, what is that?
The death touch. It's like a traditional Chinese martial art theory. And you jab someone in a vulnerable part of their body. Okay, sometimes it's like related to the acupuncture or pressure points.
点穴, yeah.
I thought it's like 4 jabs.
Usually it's 2. Bap, bap.
Okay, so it's less than 4. So it's less than 4.
It's always 2 taps. Bap, bap.
Where?
Like it can go anywhere. So like growing up, we'll play this in school. So if I go to you, I go, bap, bap, 点穴. You have to freeze.
And what if I don't freeze?
You don't freeze there. I don't play with you anymore. It's like kung fu, right? It's like apparently when you hit certain nerves, it freezes the body. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so I have to hit like certain nerves, but you know we don't really do that. So I just go up to you and I go use my 2 fingers like this,
like this,
and then I go stab on your shoulder twice, bap, bap, and then I say 点穴.
And then I freeze.
You have to freeze.
And then for how long do I freeze?
Like, you know, like at least good 10 seconds.
And then what do you do while I'm frozen?
I'll be like, hee hee, and I run away.
This is how you played when you were younger?
That's how every kid plays.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
You know this is actually based off of a real thing? Okay, clearly the Chinese theory is based off of, it's supposed to be based off of Tai Chi. And like your pressure points are getting smacked and it messes with the balance of the entire body. So you get knocked out. Oh my gosh. Do I have friends? Oh, I don't. But I do get alerts that there's a sale. So what's better?
What?
But there is a real life equivalent to that. The freaking MMAs. I can't watch the MMAs. I can't even watch boxing. I feel like MMAs are more violent than boxing. Can I say that? Can I appropriately say that? I assume that I can. Or like UFC boxing. Those are all the same thing, huh? I don't know. In these high intensity fights, competitors, they'll knock each other out with like 1 or 2 blows. They will do a KO. It's called a knockout. This is genuinely very dangerous for one's health. You're not supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to be getting knocked out. Your brain temporarily shuts down. One punch or kick can disrupt the brain's function. And their eyes roll back in the back of their head and they almost like a plank fall to the ground. But tell me why everybody in the stadium is cheering. And I'm like, you guys are all barbarians. I like sports, but this is genuinely so stressful. Who likes this? Who likes this? This is so scary.
Man. I'm just kidding.
He does not like MMA or UFC, okay? The only UFC boxing fight that I would watch is like all of our politicians boxing. Like, I feel like they should be the only people that I would get satisfaction at watching politicians get knocked out. That is the only time I think this sport is appropriate. But it's supposed to be technically a talent, a skill. To be able to hit someone like that where you can almost borderline cause serious brain injury is something that you train your whole entire life for. And recently there was this viral boxing match between 2 Chinese fighters. It's an MMA fight, which I think is different from boxing. You get it. Between China's Xi Ming and Feng Xiaokan. I'm going to call them Xi and Feng. So the 2 of them, they started going viral on TikTok. on TikTok. If you watch the video, I was getting stressed watching the way that they're fighting. She, SHI, literally kicks Fang in the neck and has several punches to her temple. And Fang just drops like a board. I thought she's dropping dead. The moment Fang falls to the ground from her kick, the referee has to jump in and stop She to pull her away. And I saw a lot of comments being like, oh my God, she's so evil. She, SHI, she, and SHE, she is so evil. Why does she keep punching her when she's already down? But I guess those are the rules of the game. You have to keep punching until the ref pulls you off. And there's all this adrenaline. Fang is put on a stretcher. She's drooling while she's being escorted to the hospital. And she gets interviewed after the match. And tell me why she's got the most angelic, soft voice. I think I wasn't aggressive enough. I think I showed a little too much mercy.
But I think I have too much mercy. I'm not aggressive enough.
And everyone was like, okay, what the fuck is happening right now? She's got the voice of an angel, which is fine. The duality of woman. We're complicated people. But then she goes even a step further, because this is the biggest plot twist. Everyone is at the hospital and they're screaming, get the doctor, get the doctor, get a paramedic. And she steps up and says, I am the doctor. Okay. It didn't actually happen like that. But Shi Meng, after this fight, it is revealed that she's actually a doctor. That's her day job.
Oh, I know this story.
Yes.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
a doctor.
She's like a really soft-spoken doctor, right?
Yes. And nobody even knew that she was an MMA fighter except
part-time.
Part-time.
So she's main job is a doctor.
Yes, and then at night she trains to be an MMA fighter. The only people that know that she's an MMA fighter are the colleagues where she's like, oh, actually, I have to go right after my shift because I'm training to be an MMA fighter.
I'm going to KO someone real quick and then I'm going to bring them back alive.
Yes. It's like the craziest, strangest plot twist. She's getting interviewed. She's even nicknamed Dr. Sleep. Netizens are joking. If she has no patients, she'll go out and make her own patients. Okay? Other contestants usually pay attention to the opponent's movements, but she only pays attention to their acupuncture points. Netizens are fucking loving this shit, okay? And they say, why can't we have some more athletes that have cool day jobs? And then people say, this is why. This is why we can't have athletes who have cool day jobs, because we, netizens as a collective, have ruined it. On November 23rd, 2024, there's a Chinese influencer who is standing in front of her live stream. And she's got both her feet planted straight on the ground. She's wearing leggings, a jacket, and she's all covered up. And she does a full, I want to say more than 90 degree, like 100-degree bow. You only see this type of shit with athletes when they be taking drugs, when they cheat, have like a school bullying case, like something crazy has happened. And so people that join the live stream, they're like, wait, what's going on? Why is she apologizing? Why is she bowing? What? I don't understand.
This is the boxing girl?
No, this is a completely different woman. And this is why people are like, see, we can't have athletes who do both, because when they do both, y'all get mad about it.
And this is
the case where everybody was upset.
Okay, and this is an athlete.
Yes.
Okay, a different athlete.
Yes.
Okay.
Her name is Wu, and she's a gymnast. She actually started her online social media account in March of 2024. Her account name was like 56 Senior Sister.
Oh.
What?
I've heard about this one too.
Really?
56学姐.
Whoa, why'd you say it like that?
Oh, I know it's about to come. Okay.
It's so bad, no?
I know like a summary.
Okay.
I heard probably saw a couple of TikToks. That's it.
Yeah, it gets really crazy. I'm gonna describe some of the videos that she's posting. I personally think, they're fun. I think
Have you seen
fun.
the videos?
I've seen the videos.
All of the videos?
I've seen a good amount of her
Really?
videos. A lot of her videos are getting taken down, but I've seen a good amount of them. So I'm going to start off easy. She does those videos where she's wearing like tight athleisure, tight leggings, tight Lululemon Define jacket. You know, the one that hugs your curves and makes everybody look like an hourglass? She'd be wearing stuff like that, and she's just dancing to songs. And I'm like, okay.
Like every TikTok video ever posted?
Like literally what's going on? This is so normal. But then it does go a step further, and she does head into like a little more sexy territory, and she's out in the street. Okay, that sounds weird, but she's literally on the street and she's wearing like a trench coat and she's wearing a short dress. And the only part that I think is a little bit like, oh, this is extra sexy is she'll wear those garters around her legs, like her thighs. You know, those
What's
like
a garter?
lacy.
Yes.
Which she's not in lingerie. She just wears that with a mini skirt. Honestly, if she wore just the mini skirt, it would look less sexy. But she wears that, and I think most people associate that with inside the bedroom type of lingerie wear. So she's wearing that, and she'll just do another trending sound and just dance to the music, and she'll post these videos. And so people are saying, oh, okay, she's a thirst trap influencer, which is totally fine. Nothing is wrong with thirst traps. In fact, keep posting thirst traps because I too am a viewer of thirst traps. I said that a little too proudly as like a married woman. My apologies, Chinese man. So for the first few months, she has 70,000 followers, which is not really considered the most substantial, especially in the realm of thirst trap influencers, which I feel like that sounds degrading, but it's not. Like, hot influencers. And then she ends up signing with this agency that is started by another influencer, 798. Let me tell you, I could do a whole nother episode on this guy. Tong Jin Cheng. What? That's his name. I mean, we don't really need to talk about him this episode. I need to tell you what I witnessed. I need to tell you what I know about this guy. He's a come up story. He started off as this poor unknown young man with no background, no qualifications. And that's not me saying that. He needs to bring that up all the time. And he has transformed into a wealthy, successful entrepreneur. He starts this MCN. So in China, I guess a lot of the influencers are signed to MCMs, where they sign to networks and a bunch of influencers are in that network. It's like less common here these days. This guy's crazy. This guy's crazy. He loves being the bad boy of doing. Oh yeah. To the point where I think it's a joke. I think so. If it's not a joke, I don't know. But he calls himself Jingnan's most affectionate.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's like saying New York's hottest, LA's sexiest, most affectionate. He does these skits where he goes on dates. Like 7 dates in a day. It's a lot of dates. He also does like the 7 fairies that he's dating, and they all come over and they give him gifts.
七仙女. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and he just loves being a bad boy. Here are some of his most well-known quotes. I think that these should be like in the Hall of Fame with some of the greatest philosophers of our time. Because I think every single word that he says is just a masterpiece in linguistics. Okay, listen.
So how is this guy related, by the way?
He signs her.
Oh, okay.
To his MCN.
So he's bigger.
Yeah. Okay. He says, never ask a woman if she's single. If she likes you, she's single.
Damn.
When looking at a girl, first check her eyes. If she doesn't look at you, look at her legs. Don't be loyal while looking for a girlfriend. Be loyal after you found one. I can swear, but I still won't post you on my WeChat moments.
What?
The best girls to pursue are the ones with boyfriends because your competition is only 1%.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Crazy good.
Don't rush into a relationship. First, be friends with her and see if her friends are more attractive. That is crazy, no? And if you look up his agency, 798 Influencers on Douyin, you will notice all the influencers are just like really hot people. And they post really hot videos and it's amazing. He's got over 500 influencers under his agency. All of them like average 1.5 million followers.
Wow.
So when Wu joins them, her followers are actually considered on the lower side of his agency. And she's like, I am going to work so hard because this is crazy. I'm signed with an agency that doesn't even look at people my size. She says, from now on, I'm officially part of this team and I am going to be so dedicated. And she does this. In less than a year, she does 400 live streams.
Wow.
Yeah, for
400?
hours. Yeah, for hours at a time, like twice a day.
There's only 365 days. Okay.
Yeah, twice
Multiple
a day.
times.
During her live streams, she's always dressing up in cosplay outfits. She's always dressing up as like a seductive teacher. And okay, people say she like really is putting her whole wussy into it. You know when you donate to a live streamer, you can become like a top donor of this streamer. You come into the chat, the streamer is alerted, hey, your top donor is in the chat with you. And she does this thing, the amount of effort, the amount of actually logistics that it would take to pull off something of this magnitude. One of her top donors will come in. They've maybe donated like $100 in their lifetime span, which is not a lot considering what she does. But every time they come in, she'll run off camera, hurry in like theater level, stage concert level, 5 seconds, put on a maid costume, and then bow, welcome home, master. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. She'll wear like tight bodycon outfits or she'll dress up as a teacher, and then she'll be like, who doesn't want to learn English? For those that don't want to learn English, stay back after class. Okay. Now, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. Some people, I think she's got the body yaddy yaddy. She's got the spirit. She's got the work ethic. She's got the heart. She's got the brains. Some people, they're just not meant to be thirst trap influencers, myself included. Okay, there's like this one part where she dresses up as a teacher and she's scolding the students that they have to stay back after class, but it like doesn't come off sexy. It just genuinely comes off as scolding. But then she keeps doubling down. It's like, instead of being like, stay after class if you don't want to learn, she's like, stay after class if you don't want to learn English. Hey, are you learning English? Sit down. It's like,
不学英语，不想学英语的同学，你的英语程度，你的英语水平到时候就跟志龙一样。
Wait, are people pointing it out? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So like, are they scared?
people are like,
Trauma.
they're like, this is not what I signed up for. Like, I wanted a sexy teacher. And then she'll be like yelling at you, and then she'll back away and then move her hips. Show off her hot figure and then be like, stay after class. And then you're like, whoa. What the fuck is going on? Sometimes, instead of cosplaying, she'll wear these really short, like booty shorts. And every time someone donates, just to give you an idea, on Douyin, which is Chinese TikTok, the most expensive gift is a phoenix. $4,000. $4,000. You can gift that. Dollars, USD, it's 30,000 yuan.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And then like one of the more affordable ones are sunglasses, which are $1.40, about 10 yuan.
Wow.
Okay. Many influencers, they don't even acknowledge the fucking sunglasses. It comes on their face and they go, okay, boop. They
Comes on their face.
And then they go, okay, can ignore that because it's $1.40. I'm not gonna twerk my ass for $1.40. No. Woo? She gets $1.40. She gets up and does a handstand in these very short shorts.
A handstand?
And people say she's like a BOGO. She's a buy one, get one. She's a steal live streamer. She's doing a handstand with just one sunglass. She's an honest streamer making an honest living. She's not trying to scam anybody. Okay. No, it's funny because we love her. Like, I genuinely love her. She's so endearing.
Oh, a handstand though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But then like her follower count would only increase a little bit, which is like the most annoying thing. She's like trying to make an honest living and people are like, no, I'm going to go to the people that ignore the shit out of my sunglass donation. And she's just working so hard. It's not until she posts one video that everything falls apart. Transition videos have been trending for years now, right? And you'll usually see girls that are in their like at-home clothes and then they'll transition into their going out clothes or transition into something sexy. You get the vibe. Well, she decides, I'm going to use this to showcase another part of my personality. She creates her own little unique version, her own little spin on it. In the first one, she's dressed as, I guess, a regular person, like a regular girl, and she's just wearing her black pajamas, looking at the camera, and then the beat drops and suddenly she's laying in bed, but it's not sexual. Like, I don't even think she's laying in bed. It just looks like she's laying on the ground because it's the best way to capture it logistically. She is surrounded by medals. and she is wearing her Chinese national team uniform because she was a national gymnast for the national team.
Medals is you're talking about like winning
Yes.
like a little medal award.
Yeah,
right?
like you know how gymnasts like Olympic medals, but she didn't go to the Olympics, though she tried to qualify. But she has like all these awards from different major competitions across the world, Asia. And she's surrounded by all the medals. And that's why I'm saying it's likely done in bed, because like how else are you going to hang all those medals to show around your head? And she's like selfieing herself. Nothing she does in that uniform is overtly sexual. Not like the whole posing with the medals is not overtly sexual. It's honestly like cute. It's cute. Now it seems like a good idea to just show, oh, sometimes I'm a regular girl, but I used to be a national gymnast for the national team, until there was one comment. November 22nd, a user named Guan Chen Chen.
Guan Chen Chen.
Do you know her?
No, only through this.
You're about to know her, okay? She comments on the video, "Senior sister, if you want to post thirst traps, just post them yourselves. But don't bring gymnastics into this. Your so-called positive energy gymnastics is not really needed." Wu responds, "Is this a case of sour grapes? Are you just jealous?" So it seems like something about the language and the way that they're talking to each other, the way she's saying like senior sister, it doesn't seem like these are internet strangers. It seems like to a degree they know of each other. Okay, because Guan posts back and she comments, "Wow, yeah, you're so amazing. I'm so jealous of you, sis. You've won so many medals and you have such excellent results. You're so amazing. I should learn more from you." To which Wu responds, "I think you're better. Thumbs up. When you finally lose weight, you can also wear nice clothes. Whoa. You'll definitely look beautiful. Let's work hard together." And this comment thread fucking spirals and takes over the internet in China, because Guan Chen Chen is not just a random internet netizen. Guan Chen Chen is another gymnast. In fact, she was the youngest gymnast to compete for China at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, where she won the gold medal on the balance beam. She was 16 years old.
Wow.
So she's like
Yeah.
God tier Olympian gymnast in China. And Wu, she never qualified for the Olympics, but she's a gymnast. She was on the national team. I'm sure their circle is small. I'm sure they've heard of each other. And now Wu is online posting, I guess what you could call thirst traps. Which, side note, Wu, I would say Wu's gymnastics story is pretty sad. She was trying to get into the Olympics for pretty much her whole entire life. She was training as a gymnast. Every single time it was the trials for the Olympics, she would get injured. And it's just like really depressing. You can actually see clips of her where she sees that she didn't make it even right after her performance. So it's not even when they tell her you didn't make it. It's like she does her performance, she messed up, she slipped up, or she knows it wasn't good enough, and you just see utter, sheer devastation across her face. And it's so depressing. And she was saying like she tried all of these things, and then China has this kind of okay program where a lot of national team members can apply for universities to study in other ways. And they have a higher chance of getting into those universities than if they were to just use their academics. But it's not that great. So she gets into a university, she tries studying, but there's not really that many jobs for her. If anything, she can really just be like a PE teacher. That's what she said. She can maybe train on the side, but then like the people that actually pay well to train for gymnastics, they want the top gymnasts that went to the Olympics to train them. They don't want someone that didn't qualify for the Olympics. So she doesn't really have lots of methods of income, and she didn't get to study much because she was so focused on gymnastics ever since she was young. And so she decided, maybe I can just try making a social media account. She was even asked, why did you want to be like this type of influencer? Like, why didn't you want to be an influencer talking about a day in my life as a former gymnast? And she says, well, I'm bad with words and I'm not really good at talking. I guess the only thing I had was like my physique. So I was trying to use that to bring happiness to people. So in the comments between Guan and Wu, Guan is making fun of the fact that Wu doesn't have a lot of achievements. And she's like, yeah, I should learn from you. You have so many medals. And then Wu is obviously making fun of the fact that after Guan won the gold medal at the Olympics, she retired and she started gaining a bit of weight. Which, of course, because she's like a public person, everybody needs to comment on. And it's just hitting at her insecurity. So they're just like poking at each other's worst insecurities. Immediately, the reporters see this and they're like, we're gonna fucking write every single article the next day about this shit. Because think about it. Ex-national athlete turned thirst trap influencer. They're like, this is amazing. This is incredible. Let's talk about it. So they're posting all of these comments, and all of a sudden, Woo's following goes from 100,000 overnight to 250,000. Another 150,000 in the span of 12 hours.
So if everyone start following
Yeah.
because they're like, oh, I want to see this content.
Yes, and everyone is like confused on the drama. They're trying to understand which side that they stay on.
So I think this type of like the type of content they call it like 擦边 influencer. Like 擦边 literally means like gracing the edge. Meaning like the edge would be the gray area, which is like, you know, adult content or sexy content, whatever it is.
This blows up. Everybody starts following Woo. And November of 2024, her account, within like 24 hours, her account gets temporarily suspended, like restricted from gaining new followers on all these platforms. And now it blows up even more, because why is her account getting restricted all of a sudden? Because there are so many people who post honestly sexier content and their accounts are not getting restricted. Why is her account getting restricted? That's what everybody wants to know. Then a staff member from the Gymnastics Management Center of the State General Administration of Sports. They gotta find some better titles, okay? Like, I get it. Maybe some other things were trademarked, but like, come on. They come out and they say that we are aware of this matter and the leaders are deliberating on how to address and resolve this. So now netizens are confused. They're like, wait, what is there to fucking resolve? I'm so confused. Like, it's a small little, I don't know if you could really even call it a scandal. What are we resolving here? And this is where everybody becomes divided. Everybody starts splitting into their own camps. So that same day, Guan does an interview with a reporter and they're asking her, what prompted you to comment on Woo's post? Because you're the one that commented first. Guan says, I've been following up on her account for some time and she used to stream on another platform, but after being banned there, she switched to this platform. And I just cannot accept using gymnastics for thirst trap content. First, I have deep feelings for gymnastics and can't stand seeing it being associated with a negative image. Gymnastics is a sacred discipline. Second, her behavior promotes the wrong values. Okay, what do you mean by the wrong values? What would parents who send their kids to learn gymnastics think? After all that hard work, is there really no future? That even champions end up relying on thirst traps? What about the children practicing gymnastics now? Will they think they'll end up like her after retiring? And what about ordinary people? Will they think it's all about making quick money? From what I know, the state provides her with support. She has a bright future, but she chose this path herself. What specific actions of hers do you classify as thirst traps? In her pinned videos on social media, she's wearing a Paris Olympics athlete uniform and leveraging her title as a gymnastics champion during her live streams. She dances in lingerie on the street. After this incident gained attention, she even said during her live stream, I'm not good with words, so I rely on my body to make people happy. That's why I've prepared a lot of props at home just to entertain everyone. So whether you consider that a thirst trap or not, everybody knows deep down. Some people are here just to watch her dance. So now the reporter's getting crazy with it. The reporter says, you know what's so interesting to me? Because I did my homework, girl. Guan, you are also signed with the social media MCN agency. So I'm just saying, and that agency happens conveniently to be rivals with the agency that Woo is signed to. We're just saying, we're just pointing out some stuff that the readers want to know about. And Guan says, I mean, my partnership with an MCN agency is limited to filming. It's purely supportive. I also do some like dancing TikToks, but they're fundamentally different from hers. My content goes through multiple layers of review, so there's no way to include anything inappropriate, even if I wanted to. Social media is honestly the least of my priorities. My studies come first because I'm still a student. Between my studies and social media, there's also room for other things like my charity work and traveling with my parents. My agency has even told me I won't make much money with this approach, and I've responded, why is money always a top priority? I do social media so people can see me as a fun personality, occasionally taking some sponsored posts to earn some pocket money. My comment criticizing Woo is entirely my personal action, unrelated to any organization that I'm signed with. I simply can't tolerate her behavior. After this interview, Oh, the netizens are fucking fighting. They're divided. So I'm going to go through all of the camps on this, okay? So you have one camp of netizens who think, why is her being a champion becoming a burden for her? She used to be a national champion, and clearly this is what she wants to do. Why should it hold her back? When anyone who is not a champion can become a thirst trap influencer and nothing bad happens. Like, you give her less freedom because of her accomplishments, that's fucking weird. Then you have people that are kind of in the middle that are like, I agree with that. However, she does constantly bring up that she's a gymnast. She brings gymnastics into it a lot, frequently. She even wears like gymnastics uniforms. And so maybe it's just too much. And also, if she wasn't on the Chinese national team, because like, I think China and the US are a little bit different. I mean, I think the US is kind of like that. If you're an Olympian, you represent the US, don't f it up. Don't embarrass us. But I feel like that's reserved every 4 years.
Yeah. And for Chinese, you know, it definitely they put it on the much higher emphasis.
Yeah, like, you are now repping the nation forever. So they're like, as a former national champion, you can't even bring gymnastics into this. You shouldn't even be making thirst trap videos. So there's people that are like, I get it, but maybe if she didn't include gymnastics and the national uniform, maybe we would have been okay.
Yeah, but those are different posts, correct? Like, she's not doing thirst trap in the gymnastic outfit, right?
Okay, so you know that transition where she goes into the national gymnastics outfit? It's like a black silk robe pajama.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't find to be particularly sexual.
So it wasn't a thirst trap. It was just a interesting transition.
Yes,
right?
but I will say some of her other videos, when she talks about being a gymnast, it's kind of thirst trappy. But she's not wearing the national uniform.
Right. Okay, yeah.
So again, it's not like she's twerking on the U.S. flag. It's just like she like repped. She repped the country at one point.
Can people do that? No, right?
I think you can twerk on the U.S. flag.
Oh.
I don't know. I feel like one of my OF girlies has got to have done it. Others are saying, no, Guan is right. Like, there are minors in gymnastics. I don't know anything about gymnastics, okay? The netizens were arguing, objectively, the younger you are, the more flexible you are. Like, your body is, like, peak athletes are a little bit on the younger side. And some of them are not 18 yet. And when you have an industry that has a lot of underage people, to even add a sexual element to that is bad.
I think, so this is the reason just for American, because if this happened in America, like a former athlete became like, let's say, an OF model.
Yeah.
Would that even make news?
Maybe, but not really.
But not really. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I feel like the only one upset are like guys that want to date her but can't date her.
Yeah, like it's not that big of a deal. The reason why this became like the biggest news in China is, I think it's almost the same thing as in China or even Korea in Asia. A lot of time, any public figure, they consider it like a role model for the teens. So if you're a role model, then you can't do anything that's not deemed as appropriate for teens to follow. So versus in America, you have all sorts of famous people, like everybody's doing crazy stuff, and that's fine. It's parents' duty to say what to follow and what not to follow, right?
And it's not like she's out here saying, give up gymnastics to be like, to do this with me, or like everybody should give up their passion and do this, or like everyone should make money like this because I'm making so much money. Then I think you could maybe argue that she's trying to influence younger people into, I don't know, I don't want to say wrong, but like a different path. But she's literally minding her own business. So then some people are saying, no, she's a national like athlete, she cannot be posting thirst traps. And they're also bringing it so extreme. They're like, there's minors in gymnastics, and I'm like, bitch, what does that have to do with her? She's not pretending to be a minor. She's not including that in any of her, like, what is going, how are these connected? But then you also have netizens that are split with how they feel about Guan. So this is like the first layer of discourse that people start having, because they're like, you know, should she be posting thirst traps? And then the second layer goes crazier, because everyone starts commenting, well, if she's not posting thirst traps, what do you think she should do? So people who have been following Wu, they know that she was working as a PE teacher at one point, and she was just not making money. Like, no job that she could get that uses her gymnastics is making any money. The school that she got into was not that great. She does not have a lot of job opportunities because the job market is so competitive. She really didn't have many choices. So she goes into this route and everyone is like, what would you rather have her do then? And they also point out that Guan was posting videos of herself dancing online, and some of them were even the same exact dances that Wu was posting.
Really?
Yes, and then there's another one of her.
Like sexy dance?
It's not like sexy. Okay, so the dances, they're like you shake your hips a little bit, but obviously because Wu would wear skin tight clothes, she would maybe shake her hips a little like more seductively. But it's like technically the same dance.
I see.
And then people were digging up videos of Guan on stage dancing in what you would consider more revealing clothing. But then some netizens were defending her, saying that's like performance outfit. That's not sexy outfit. But then people are like, what's the difference? Because the live streamer is also performing. Like, you think that she's just existing like this? Like, she's technically performing. Everything is a performance. Also, people didn't like Guan's responses in the interview because they're saying she just sounds so out of touch. Like, you're punching down. It's so easy for you to say, oh, money is not the priority. And also to say, like, I do social media because I want to showcase my personality, but you should only do it the way I deem you should do it. It's very much like, I deserve to have an online presence, but the way you do it, I don't like it, so you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
It's just very, it was giving people the ick, but to her defense, I don't know, she's 20. Maybe some people could say that she's young. And then another thing on top of that was people are saying, we used to be so proud of this girl because she was the youngest to win gold for China in the balance beam in 2020. And maybe she won that too quickly. Like, maybe her success came so quick, she doesn't understand the hardship other athletes have to go through.
Yeah.
Like, this is not easy. Like, you think if Wu could have been an Olympian gold medalist, retired and doing like Nike deals versus like dancing as a seductive teacher for creepy guys on the internet, like, which
$1.50?
Yeah, which one do you think that she would choose? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of, she was just giving pick me. I'm gonna be so real with you. I love her for her achievements, but maybe, I don't know, read a book on like supporting women. And then people started digging even deeper. So people are digging up all of this stuff about Guan because she's the one throwing shots to begin with. She's like, I can be on social media, you can't. They're digging up videos of her dancing the same dances, dancing, I guess, in provocative, quote unquote, provocative wear on stage for events. They're digging into all of this. And some people who support Guan and don't like Wu, they start digging into Wu. And they find that she genuinely seems like a good fucking person. Like, her track record is a bunch of injuries from gymnastics and then a bunch of volunteer work. This girl is fucking volunteering every other day. She does like art therapy volunteer centers. She does classes tailored for children with disabilities and developmental delays, and she tries to teach them art. And it's crazy because Guan is like, I don't really care about social media. I care about my philanthropic work. Meanwhile, Wu is out here doing all of this. And so people start digging up all of her charitable works. And now this is the crazy part. They did a poll. This is in China, okay? So I know my K-pop girlies think K-netizens. I feel like C-netizens are similar to K-netizens, where there is a disconnect between C-netizens, K-netizens, and then international netizens. International netizens are like, twerk on the flag, I don't care. Twerk on the flag and show me the TikTok, I don't care. But then like K-netizens will typically be a bit more sensitive. But because of this whole situation with Guan and her comments and then people digging into Wu's past, a whopping over 70% of C-netizens polled that they support Wu.
Wow.
Which you would not normally see that result.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how the things has changed in Asia too. Like in 10 years ago, no way.
No.
Yeah.
And then to make matters even better, I guess you could say, or like more sad, it turned into a whole conversation about how, I'm sure this is the same in the US and everywhere, but how China doesn't support their national athletes. And I think that's, again, the same everywhere. So in China, there's one weightlifting athlete named Zhao, and she's probably like one of the biggest examples of this. Throughout her entire career, she won 9 medals and even broke the Chinese weightlifting record in 1990. And she has all these injuries because she's a weightlifter. after all of that, when she retires, she's like, okay, what's next for me? Like, what could I do? Could I train? Could I do something? And they say, you can work as a cafeteria lady for the national team. So she would basically just soup vegetables for the other athletes, help clean tables. And then she was trying to make her own business. So she asked the state for support and they gave her $10,000. But they did not pay for any of her medical fees for all of her injuries. So it didn't even cover most of the injuries she sustained from the sport. So she was like plummeted into poverty. She had no education. She didn't develop any social skills. And she says this because she was so focused on her craft. Like, you don't get to become the top by having a well-balanced life. And then on top of that, back in like the 80s and 90s, people did more drugs for sports. And she says that she has a lot of body hair and skin that is very rough. And she has like facial hair that makes her feel less womanly. And then on top of all of this, it's just been fucking miserable. So the only work that she could find was being a bathhouse scrubber, like scrubbing someone's back at a bathhouse, and she gets 20 cents for each person. She scrubs about 50 people a day. And then at one point, this was like the worst point of her life, she's scrubbing someone's back and they recognized her, and that person said, I never expected a national champion would be scrubbing my back. I'm gonna fucking cry. There are other other Chinese national team members. Okay, because think about how many people actually win the gold medal. If you don't win a gold medal, your days of like brand deals are very low. Even if you win a gold medal, I think you have to be conventionally attractive. Like, so many things have to line up for you to be like a mega star. And then if you win a silver medal, I'm sure everything goes down. And then if you don't even make it to the Olympics, who even knows you? Yeah, you're on the national team, but it's just like a very depressing thing.
我从小开始，我家条件不是很好，但是我献出了我整个青春去从事体操这个行业，但是我没有拿到最好的成绩，也就是说，我没有走到顶峰。顶峰是什么？顶峰是奥运冠军。奥运冠军意味着什么？有米、有房、有车，但是我没有这些东西，我得靠自己。
There are pictures that people started posting after this incident, after what happened with Wu, of former Chinese national athletes that are like doing handstands on the subway, that are just using their body for entertainment on subway stations to get change. Another athlete, he won a few gold medals in Asian competitions. He didn't make it to the Olympics. He sold his gold medal for $20 because he truly had no money.
Wow.
There was another Chinese former athlete that was a national champion. She started a fruit stand. And so it's just, I mean, like, people are saying, really? You're mad at Wu for trying to make it as an influencer? Like, why? This feels just gross. Why are we bullying her for no reason? I mean, what do you want her to do? Would it be better? Would it make people feel better if she's at the subway station doing handstands, fully clothed? Like, is that what you want? So that you can feel sad and then you can be like, aw, and then give her $1 and then walk away? Like, why do you want that? So on December 1st, 2024, the ban on her Douyin account was lifted. And now she has 6.3 million followers.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry. And then people are commenting like, if the country doesn't support you, I will. On December 1st, her account is reinstated. She gains like 6.3 followers. December 24th, she gets restricted again. And they just start deleting her followers. She goes down from 6 million to 44,000 followers. She also gets banned from posting, live streaming. Basically, they took her account from her on Douyin. Right now, it seems like it's still kind of wishy-washy. I think they keep going back from suspending, not suspending her account. She gains followers, and then they'll like delete followers. And then everyone keeps commenting, who let me unfollow her? Like, I want to follow this girl. Why do you guys keep making me unfollow her? So it's a whole conspiracy, and it doesn't seem like the conversation is over for that. I don't think it's fair that she's getting restricted. Like, for what? And I think that Guan, the other Olympian, is maybe young. Maybe she's experienced things that were really rough in gymnastics, I'm sure. And maybe she used Wu, I think, unfairly as an outlet for that anger.
Yeah, just sounds young to me.
Yeah, like, she sounds young and maybe a little out of touch, right?
Yeah.
But Wu, guys, So with that being said, that's today's Mots. Sorry, I was sick. I had laryngitis for like a week. What are your thoughts? And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.